It's actually now reached the point where I'm timing recording these videos so that I do them just after I've had my lunch so I can have a vegan snack as my dessert. I think they've got their claws in me. They're hooking me in. Today, we're trying a chocolate chip oat bar called Free with 3 E's. So it must be good. By Dove's Farm. Again, organic, vegan, so well packaged that I can't even get that wrapper off. Oh, it just looks like a little cereal bar, dearly. I can live with some. This is just normal food. I'd have one of these with my lunch on occasion anyway, just with normal chocolate. Tastes just like any other cereal bar. I'm vegan again. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 9 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 more games in League 2. We're at home against Grimsby, away against Stevenage. Couple of things right up front. Firstly, look, we're still top of the league. Isn't that awesome? But right after I recorded the last episode, the game crashed. It didn't let me save properly, so I had to replay the 2 matches from the last video. And I think Football Manager 2019 punishes you for reloading. Let me explain what I mean. I played the game at Southend. We won it just like we did before. I then played the game against Gillingham and we drew it. And I thought, you know what? We had a win before. I want to protect this record. I reloaded. We did win against Gillingham, but then we got punished by having 3 matches without a win afterwards. I hope that's I hope the game punishes people who reload. I could count on like 3 fingers the amount of times I've done it, and it's always been in situations like this. And I like the fact that we got battered for doing it. Probably should have just taken the draw. But all the same, we've come back to winning ways. 2 wins since then. And a friendly win as well, because we had a long break because of an international break while everyone else was playing. And I had a man I wanted to get fit. Our new striker, Gary, is it Madine? The fella from Sheffield Wednesday and everywhere else. And okay, he's not been at Sheffield Wednesday for a long time. Bolton and Cardiff. He was in the Premier League last season. Yes, he only came off the bench 3 times and didn't score. And before signing for us, he hadn't scored for several years. But it's only a couple of years ago that he was signed for £6 million, and he spent 2 of those 3 years in the Premier League. So he's a decent signing, and he was signed for a reason, because we got injuries to both Jordan Rhodes and Mason Bloomfield. Let's have a little look. Bloomfield, I think, is still injured. Yeah, he is still injured. He's got a damaged knee cartilage, already been out for 4 weeks, going to be out for a little while. How has he got wear and tear at his age? Goodness me. And then Jordan Rhodes, where is he? Let's try and find a Jordan Rhodes goal. There we go. Jordan Rhodes, I think, is just coming back to fitness now, but he has sprained ankle ligaments. He's been out for the last 3 weeks or so. So we had no striker. And just as we lost our strikers, this guy popped up on the scout reports. Another experienced championship goal scorer, although not ever as prolific as Jordan Rhodes was. But importantly, offers us something a little bit different. We've now got Rhodes as a poacher. We've got Bloomfield as an advanced forward and a target man in the shape of Gary, in the shape of Gary. So we've got some different options to use when we need him. Obviously, at the moment, Gary's playing because the other 2 are injured or not really fit. But it's nice to have a third striker, and it's nice to have someone who offers something a little bit different. Imagine this guy and Husek and Ben White, who is signed. Imagine them all closing down on corners and whatnot. So Ben White's 6 foot. Rawson, I think, is like 6'2" as well. We're building quite a big team, which is excellent. Now, obviously, we did pick up a couple of injuries in the last episode as well that didn't exist anymore. So the injuries to, I think it was De Silva and Rawson, were the ones that never actually happened in the reset universe. We just got Bloomfield and Rhodes instead. So swings and roundabouts and whatnot. But the important thing is, as you can see, form is good. And this is where we find ourselves if the table wants to load up. So 14 games in, we're 6 points clear at the top of the league with a game in hand. We are a good side, and hopefully we continue that form today in the first of the 2 games against Grimsby, and this is the team that we're putting out there. So we've got Dieng in goal, a back 4 of Gaffer, White, Rawson and Shepherd, with Quintero at the base of the midfield. I think Rowan Ince is another one who picked up an injury. Let's go find Rowan Ince. Can anyone find Rowan Ince? Can we see him anywhere? Hold on. I haven't played this game since yesterday, and I don't remember. There you go. Ince is recovering from an injury as well, so that's why he's not even on the bench. De Silva and McCassie make up the rest of the midfield. Maydine, Madine leads. We've got him as a pressing forward. He'd ideally want to be a target man. I don't think a target man works with our quick attacking, counter-attacking system. So pressing forward, he can do just about as well. So he's going to do that. Long term, he's going to sit on the bench and come on as a target man to go alongside either Rhodes or Bloomfield when we need something a little bit extra. But for now, as he's the only fit striker we've got, he has to fit into our system rather than the other way around, and he's going to be supported by Williams and Dander, who still are both struggling for fitness. They've benefited massively from having a couple of weeks off, because Ryan Glover has played a lot of games. Considering he's only supposed to be our backup, started 12 of our 14 games so far, because these two just can't get fit. But they are fit now, and hopefully they can now have a run of games where they're starting after an international break, fully fit, fully match fit, and hopefully we can get a run of games from them both. They're both playing well. It's just we're struggling to get them fit at the same time because they both missed out on pre-season. They were both injured in pre-season, and it's causing problems for them both. But let's get into the game. We're playing against Grimsby. We're at home. Actually, I think I probably want to switch this to a more positive. I pressed the wrong button. Click too soon. I mean, he's actually done a very good job. So there you go. Assistant manager. Good work, sir. Let's go more attacking, though. We want a more positive outlook on the game. Grimsby are somewhere down the bottom, I think. I mean, everywhere's somewhere down the bottom to us. There you go. They're in mid-table. They should be a team that we're capable of beating. So we want to attack them a little bit. We've got our attacking prowess, but also I'm a little bit worried about fitness levels for Maydine. Jordan Rhodes is there to come on, who's not really fit. I kind of want to have our goals scored fairly early and then get Morrison on. 2 or 3-0 up after an hour, get Morrison on for Maydine, and that feels like a good way to say his name. And then we're sorted. Why are we not doing anything at all? Come on, lads. Goal before half-time, please. What's happening? I don't understand why they're inspired. Good. Do you want to inspire me right back again by giving us a highlight in the first half? Apparently not. My entire match plan thrown out the window by us just... I mean, what's happened there then? Right, that was a rubbish team talk before the match. I blame it all on that. What can we say? We've not been better. We've been rubbish. I'm far from pleased with what I've just seen. There you go. That's fired him up. Oh, he's back. And look, he's angry. There you go. So let's get out there and score some goals in this second half. If we still haven't scored on the hour mark, I'm tempted to drop back to cautious and see if we can invite them onto us a little bit to create some gaps behind for us to exploit with our counter-attacks. You know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. We haven't had a highlight playing a more attacking game. It seems like a weird counterintuitive thing to do, but we are very good on the break. We can't hit them on the break if they're not going to attack. And this might be a problem that we have the more we dominate the league, because we just can't break teams down. I'm tempted to bring on Jordan Rhodes. I didn't really want to bring him on today, but I think we might need him. So Rhodes can come on. And have we got Kiter on the bench? We don't. Have we got anyone who can play? No. I mean, this is a poor bench. Who picked this bench? So it looks like the usual suspect, Ryan Glover, going to come on the left-hand side. He's a very direct runner, so he's going to create stuff, hopefully, for Rhodes. But there's De Silva. Plays it forwards towards Rhodes, and De Silva's continued his run. He is in the middle with George Williams, I think. It's across to De Silva, and De Silva scores. And Josh De Silva, my word, he is a player. We got him in on loan last season just because we needed an extra body in there. Absolutely no idea he would go on to be as good as he has been, but he is one of the best players in League Two. We need to try and sign him permanently at the end of the season because he's incredible. Such a good... I mean, I don't even want to say attacking midfielder because that's not even what he does. He's a ball-winning midfielder in there, but his late breaks into the penalty area, as you've just seen there, are absolutely deadly. Right, I'm going to take off George Williams and I'm going to bring on Sam Morrison. Sam Morrison is a youngster. I think you've seen Sam Morrison before. He's a youngster we brought in the summer. Didn't expect him to play as often as he has. This is his 4th appearance now, but he did come on as a striker, and I think the last league game, and scored. So we've potentially got a 4th striker as well, and it certainly doesn't hurt to get him on the pitch. Quintero, what a free kick that was, and it's palmed into the path of McCassie, who can't quite tuck it away. And now we've got a corner. It's with Gafferot. We've not really seen much of him today, but he finds Ben White, and it's cleared. I mean, we've won so many games 1-0 this year. I'm not going to complain if we win this one 1-0 as well. He's good to see we came out of ourselves a little bit in this second half. Quintero's hit the crossbar now. Sooner or later, he's going to score a free kick. I think we had one on yesterday's video, actually, where he was... Oh, have we given away a penalty in the last minute? No, we haven't. Rawson was fouled. That's all right, then. I would have been very, very sad if we'd have given away a penalty in the 94th minute. Although, looking at that, there wouldn't have been time for them to take it. Guarantee he doesn't blow the whistle then if he's just given a penalty. But let's give him a... I don't want to be too excited. In fact, yeah, we'll give him an assertive. That was a bit of a let-off, because that was a bit of a let-off. We should have been much better in that game, and hopefully we will be much better against Stevenage in the second match, which we'll play now. 2 changes for the Stevenage game, then I've actually remembered to switch it to a positive mentality before we start as well. So I guess that's 3 changes, although we did that immediately in the last game. But Glover comes in on the left-hand side of midfield for Dander, who drops back down to the bench again. Where is he? I say he's on the bench. Where have I put Jan Dander? He was on the bench a minute ago. How has that happened? I was swapping things around, getting Rowan Ince onto the bench, and somehow took Dander off the bench. But Dander's down on the bench, and also Collar comes into midfield with De Silva dropping down to the bench. Just really full rotation. I know De Silva was our best player in the last game, as usual. Doesn't hurt to rest him, though. We don't want to break him, and hopefully this should be enough to get past Stevenage. The match squad must have at least one player trained by the club. What? How do we know if they're trained by the club? What? Right, hold on. Oh, what just happened? I hit quick pick and things changed. The team hasn't changed. Good work. Has the team changed? Actually, yeah, De Silva's come back in. Right, let's swap him back over for there. That's the team we had, isn't it? So that's interesting that quick pick puts Glover in ahead of Dander. So who's the homegrown one? Does Huset count as homegrown at the club? Oh no, Ben Stokes, of course. There he is. That's a stupid rule. But now I'm thinking about it, I know all about that rule, because in real life, posh player, 41-year-old coach, he sits on our bench every week. Mark Tyler, he's our goalkeeping coach. He's absolutely not our backup goalkeeper, but he sits on the bench because he came through our youth team 25 years ago. Have we got... Oh, yeah, revenge. We always love revenge. We're the Revengers. We're not like the Avengers. We're the Revengers. We go out there getting revenge against other football teams. I mean, we probably need a series of movies about that. Ben White nods it down to Medine, and there's Quintero. 5 minutes on the clock, and we've actually made the breakthrough early in this game. And it was a very good piece of play from White. Far post corner, aimed at White, nods it down to Medine. I don't know I guess he's facing away from goal, which is, he's probably done a little bit better with it coming behind him than you would necessarily expect him to. I'm thinking he should just wallop that in himself, but he actually controls it really nicely and just puts it on a plate for Quintero. And that's 1-0, and that's marvellous. We'll keep attacking for the first half. We'll switch back to our counter-attacking system at half-time, unless Stevenage equalise, because, I don't know, they do seem more comfortable when they're counter-attacking. We are deadly on those breaks, and I think if we're spending too much time in the opposition half, we don't get to do the deadly breaks, and it saddens me. But there's Collar, plays it across to Gafferot, to Glover, back to Gafferot again, who loses out on the ball, and Ben White's just there to cover, because he's a League One player. Ball forward towards Medine, back to Collar. Collar plays Gafferot in again. We know what he can do with these crosses from here. Finds George Williams, and it's 2-0. And Williams, 4th goal of the season now. He's getting into those positions quite regularly. He, probably more than anybody, is benefiting from just how effective Gafferot is in these kind of positions. Look at this for a cross. It's absolutely perfect for George Williams. Nods it in. Bang. 2-0. 35 minutes on the clock. If we can get a third before half-time, I'll play in the second half, because it can't possibly go wrong. Glover's nervous, and I don't know what he could possibly be nervous about. Maybe he's nervous that he knows I'm bringing Yandander on in the near future. I want Rowan Ince on my bench. I'm not happy about this stupid rule. We need to get some kids who've come through our youth system. Right, actually, I don't want to be assertive. We played very well there. Don't get complacent. I probably could have done that assertively, but I didn't want to be assertive. Let's go to cautious and just cruise control engaged for the rest of the game as it stands. 7 points clear at the top of the league with a game in hand. 9 points clear of the playoffs with a game in hand. We could have this wrapped up by Christmas if we carry on in this kind of form. I did tell you before the season started, we're a good team. You didn't believe it. Some of you believe. I don't know if anyone believed me. I'm recording all of these before episode 1 of this season came out. I'm assuming people told me I was an idiot for not signing enough players. If I actually did something good, I'm very proud of myself. If we all agreed that it was the right thing to do, not really changing very much in the summer. Right, Glover's going to come off. He was right to be nervous. Dander can come on for him. And we're also going to get De Silva on into that midfield. He can. We don't want to play both of them as ball-winning midfielders, though. So De Silva can be a box-to-box midfielder, which we do whenever he plays with Collar. Gets him even further forward. I mean, really, he's probably better used as a box-to-box midfielder anyway, because we want him making those runs that he makes regardless. That's sad. Very sad news. Potential foot injury. Do you have anyone to come on for him? Not really. I guess, do we bring on Yorworth or Husek and go 5 at the back, or do we bring on Rhodes and go to a 4-4-2? We're 2-0 up. We're going to bring on Husek. I feel like a monster, but we're not actually going to go 5 at the back. We're going to stick Ben White just there, because we know he can do it. Quintero, can he do box-to-box? He can. So he can be our box-to-box midfielder, and that's fine. I'm a little bit worried about De Silva. The game is desperately trying to break him. It broke him in the last episode and then it didn't save. And now it's broken him again in this episode. After a match-winning performance, obviously. So we can let it off. If he's only out for a couple of weeks. If he's out for 5 months for a broken foot, then fingers crossed the game doesn't save again. Let's not go down that road. Let's calm. In fact, passion. Let's be passion. That was good. Let's be passion. There's a sentence. Let's see what's up with De Silva. Oh, I really hope he's not hurt. And then I've got to save immediately to make sure I can't be accused of cheating if he is. Right, De Silva, a couple of weeks. That's fine. No reason to panic. Right, next episode. Now, remember, there won't be a Non-League to Legend episode tomorrow because now we're in a world where we have 2 big saves on the channel. If you haven't checked out Home yet, it started earlier in the week. You really should be watching Home as well. But we're doing Non-League to Legend and Home Monday to Friday every day, but then at the weekend they have a day each. And it's going to be Non-League to Legend on Sunday. So there won't be a Non-League to Legend tomorrow. So when we're back on Sunday, I think we probably need to get through a chunk of games. As fun as it is winning lots of games, we can kind of see where this is going. I don't need to string this season out too far. So unless we hit a rough run of form, we'll probably get all the way through till like January before the next game, before the next episode, because otherwise it's just going to be episode after episode after episode of me saying how great we are and you getting bored of it. So we'll get a big chunk of games played, come back probably for that double header, Notts County and Posh. I like the look of that. Like I say, unless something disastrous happens in the meantime. It also leaves the door open for an interesting FA Cup 3rd round tie in the next episode. If we get that far, obviously we've got 2 rounds to get through first. But that's the plan. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea where I was going with that's the plan. I need to sleep. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.